Hello, 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 everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Rainey Ray, and this is our weekly live education Q&A and stuff. Joining me today is Rebecca, and she's moving around a bit, so instead of us getting dizzy, she's got her video off, which is great. Anyone can do that joining in. I appreciate you joining. Quick reminders. When I send out biz text, it's from a service. So if you want to reply back, reply to my personal number, the 847-815-5010, rather than the texting number, which is a 941 area code, so that I'm sure to get it and then we can communicate. Otherwise, it costs per text and I don't receive the notifications. So, uh, Also, a reminder, I know people are earning a lot of points with the loyalty rewards program. Use them within a year of when they're earned. I don't want you losing them. So it's use it or lose it within a year. And today we're going to talk about focus. And I was just thinking, students, it's finals time. And I was thinking about all that over the weekend because I had to do a project yesterday that I really didn't want to do. And it required drafting a document. And it took, with the research and everything, about 5 hours. And I needed to get it done. So, what I did was I used our oils in order to stay focused and on track, and everyone needs focus. All right, adults, kids, we use these focus oils for our pets and animals also. So, Rebecca, if you can unmute yourself and tell us an oil that you reach for when you need to focus.
Well, I use peppermint in many ways, but peppermint seems to work really well for me. Uh, Sandalwood, I believe I've got in. I made a roller for bedside, and I know who wants to be alert and focused at bed, but it seems to relax me and shut down my mind.
So, tell me about
Um,
how you use peppermint.
I use that at night for breathing. It helps with my breath. It helps with my allergies. And I throw that in there with sandalwood, and it helps during the day with focus and allergies. They're in a
So,
nutshell
how do
for
you
me.
how do you apply it? How do you
Um,
use it?
I use peppermint, um, actually peppermint, lavender, and lemon in a capsule.
But for
Um,
focus, let's stay focused.
I that's a lot. Well, the, I look at oils for many reasons,
Okay,
and I don't necessarily go to an oil if I already know that I've got that oil.
right.
And I need help in that area. And I know Thinker is a great um, oil, but combo, but I
hmm
don't have that yet. It's on my list.
Okay. Well, and and I love that. I love that we use the oils for different purposes. Okay. So when we're thinking about, no pun intended, that blend that you noticed, Thinker, that was on my list also. So Thinker is part of the kids collection, okay? And it comes in, I think it also comes in a 5 ml, but this is specifically diluted for all ages, okay? And Thinker is, as I said in the kids collection, it's the focus blend. So I always like to say the kids collection is not just for kids, okay? So we use Thinker for adults, for our dogs when we're training, things like that. So I wanted to list from the Essential Life book, okay? And if you don't have it in print, remember, you can be part of the Wellness Nook and you get that and tons of other books online. And I think it's about 40 or $50 a year. And, one single hardbound book is 40 bucks. So it really does pay to do it. But anyway, thinker, lack of mental clarity, focus, and concentration. Applied under your nose, forehead, along the spine, back of the neck. I love that. I used it yesterday. It's great for those who have ADD, ADHD, hyperactivity. It's great for under or overactive brain. So, like you were saying, Rebecca, sometimes the oils that are for concentration also help us shut our brain down, right? And that's helpful. Overwhelm, feeling apathetic, that afternoon slump, that feeling that you're checking out. If you're stressed, ungrounded, it also helps with nervousness, anxiety, moodiness. Believe it or not, Thinker also helps with seizures applied under the nose, forehead, along the spine. My go-to for seizures is just simply open the frankincense bottle and put it under the person's nose for them to breathe in. I've used it for our dog Jack when he was going through grand seizures, and it, boom, stopped the seizures. So, Thinker is amazing. You mentioned peppermint. And, we think of peppermint, oh gosh, for our lemon, lavender, and peppermint, like you were saying, the allergy blend, which helps us to balance out our histamine response. We think of peppermint for nausea, for digestion, for headaches, migraines. I love peppermint when you feel sunburned or have heat stroke. If you want to lower a fever, peppermint is wonderful. You just put some in cold water, take a cotton washcloth, wring it out in there, put it on the back of the neck or on the forehead. But here it is in the Essential Life book: brain fog, memory issues, autism, seizure, concussion. All of that is peppermint is really good for. Muscles we use peppermint for, right? So when you have stiff muscles or tension or a Charlie horse, you want to put peppermint on. When you have poor circulation, you want to put peppermint on. Nerve damage, sciatica, all that, put peppermint on. I like to say that peppermint starts with the letter P and it's a pusher. So if I use deep blue on an achy muscle, I put peppermint over top to push it in deeper. Um, I love peppermint if I have cravings, okay, for food. Sometimes I reach for Metapower, sometimes I reach for peppermint. So that's a real good one. Um, Rebecca, do you have rosemary?
I have rosemary, but Rosemary and I don't get along.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Um, is that because you don't like the aroma?
I don't like the aroma. I don't like the flavor. Um,
Okay,
eh,
it's
yeah,
just not your girl, not your
it
friend.
we're not friends.
Okay. Well, I happen to love rosemary. For cooking, I love it for, really love it for focus. Rosemary, well, let me back it up a minute. We always think of the doTERRA signature diffuser blend because they used to run it and give it out at every, event, is peppermint and wild orange. And then I was doing a class years ago, and a gal that I know, who's with doTERRA also, she was helping, and I saw her starting the diffuser. I said, "Ooh, that smells different than our regular peppermint and wild orange." She said, "Yes, I put a couple drops of rosemary in it." And it wasn't pronounced, but I loved what her response was. The reason she does it is because it helps people to focus. All right. So rosemary's really good. It is a must in our hair grow recipe, whether it's the human one or for our pets, okay? The only time you have to be careful with rosemary is if someone or a pet is prone to seizure, it can lower the threshold, can, okay? So in small amounts, usually that's no problem. Just something to be mindful of. So peppermint, rosemary is one that I love to add in for for focus. Um, the other one, and I know you love this, Rebecca, is adaptive. How do you
I live
use
on,
adaptive?
I use adaptive soft gels.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's part of my diffuser living room, if I remember correctly, but I'd have to have all my paperwork out in front of me, and I just don't have it.
Okay, no
Um,
worries.
but
Um,
go
so
ahead.
you like to run it in the diffuser.
Yes.
Awesome. And adaptive, just so everybody knows, the only time I've ever been to a doTERRA convention, the real annual big one that's at the mothership, I call it, in Utah. Um, they introduced several wonderful things. Adaptive, copaiba, rose, though it was just it was like amazing. Adaptive was created by doTERRA to address mental health issues that have been going on in our country. And it was interesting because it was introduced in 2020, and we all know all of the stuff that we were all feeling during COVID and all that from 2020 on. So 2019 Adaptive in the fall was was introduced, and 2020 is when we really all were in the throes of COVID. So it's great for chaotic situations. It's great for all of the alphabet soup, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, um, all of it. Okay. It is great for helping us to be composed and coping and dealing with anxiety. I love it for focus, concentration, the ability to stay on task. So I was running a lot of adaptive yesterday, okay? Um, when doTERRA was researching adaptive, they had test subjects take an examination in two different rooms. One room had adaptive in the diffuser, and the other room had a placebo, meaning something that smelled like adaptive but wasn't adaptive. And they were all wired up so they could, monitor them. And when the test subjects were taking the test in the adaptive room, they performed better, did the test quicker, had less anxiety over the test, and overall feeling of well-being while taking the test than when the subjects in the placebo room. So I love to run adaptive. It's great for when kids are going to go whether they're younger kids or older kids when they're going in and taking a test. So think about thinker and think about adaptive. Adaptive also comes in a pre-made roller if you want to make it easy. Um, brain issues, those kinds of things. It's just amazing for that. It adaptive is one that I carry in my purse so that if you get all cray cray out there in the world, you can just swipe on some adaptive and breathe it in, and it seems to make it go away. Um, one of my favorite, and I don't think people think of this often for focus, is Shinrin Yoku. Do you have this one, Rebecca? Shinrin Yoku. It is the forest bathing blend. So while Rebecca's coming back to us or unmuting, I love this. Forest bathing. In Japan, they do forest bathing because everyone is inside a lot and they go out into the forests that are around the city, parks basically, and are among the trees and smelling the good aroma from the trees. So forest bathing is cleansing the body while bathing outdoors. Diffuse this, and it'll make you feel because of the aromatics in here. You can put it on the bottoms of your feet. It's outdoor therapy. So if I'm stuck inside, um, Shinrin Yoku in the diffuser. I go through a lot of this. I love it. It's great for grounding and steadying. It's wonderful if you're feeling mentally taxed, overwhelmed, overstimulated. Many people love it in their diffuser in the night. It helps with inadequate melatonin levels. Um, it's really good for congestion, respiration, and digestion. If you feel like you have low serotonin levels, if you're depressed, feeling overly exposed or unsafe, it says. And this again is the Essential Life book. If you have tense, uptight muscles, if your cortisol levels are elevated, so cortisol levels get elevated when we're in fight or flight mode. So it's great for dopamine, adrenaline levels, feeling stressed, anxious, unsettled, frazzled. So when I was going through this project yesterday, I was feeling those things. I was feeling like, oh God, this is so frustrating. And, then I would get lost down a rabbit hole and aggravated with myself. And I needed to concentrate. And Shinrin Yoku, I loved it. Have you ever tried that one, Rebecca? You back with us? Shinrin Yoku. All right, I guess she's not. So, whichever of the focus oils that you like to use them. Because when we can help focus ourselves or whatever it might be going on with an oil, it just is, it's such a great go-to. I keep a diffuser in my office, in the bedroom, in the kitchen. Actually, I have one in the car, my Jeep. Um, and I have the other little diffusers in the bathrooms because I want people to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable as I'm around the house. So, focus oils are the thing of the day. If you're allowed to send your kid or young adult to school with a roller, do it, okay? If not, you can apply Adaptive, Thinker, any of them on your youngin, and send them off to take the test. While they're studying for the test is another good thing. So, reach for your oils not only for like with Shinrin Yoku, not only for, the whole thing of feeling like you're forest bathing, but also for other things it can help you with. So Shinrin Yoku, not just for forest bathing, but for focus. Peppermint, not just for allergies or pain or digestive, but also for focus. Adaptive, not all only for calming and all that, but also for focus, concentration, and elevating your performance on a mental exercise. So I hope that was helpful for people. And if I'd love to hear what your guys' go-to is for focus. Enjoy the specials and things that are going on this month. If you have any question about how to get as much freebies as you can with your order, reach out to me or the person that helped you enroll. I know that the 150 PV point value promo gives us two free oils, and I'm definitely going to aim for that multiple times. We have to stock up for heading out of town at the end of June, so I start to stock up on things the months before. So I'm going to stock up so I get free Madagascar vanilla and Balance. Balance is another one. We didn't even mention it, that Balance can help you focus also. If I look in the Essential Life book under balance, all right, and balance is it's just so well-rounded and good. It's our grounding blend, but it's also good for things like neurological conditions, mood swings, stress and anxiety. It's great for feeling tranquil so that you can feel calm so you can be focused. It's great for helping with anger, rage, fear, trauma. Neurological conditions, it's great for mood swings, lag or travel anxiety. So I love to use it to feel stabilized, anchored, and centered. I was telling somebody earlier today that part of my morning routine, I don't always remember it, but I try, is when I'm in bed, I take the bottle of balance, take a drop or two, it's pre-diluted, breathe it in, put it on the back of my neck, bottoms of the feet. I just start my day better. And that's the beauty of these oils is that they make our lives better and healthier. So, Rebecca, I don't know if you're back or not, but either way, thank you for your insights. And everyone, happy oiling. I'll post this in the group. Any questions or comments, put it below. And take good care. I love you all. And once again, happy oiling.